What is going on, everyone? Platinum Beast coming at you with yet another video today. Today we're going to be going over our last video because I got some interesting responses to it, and we're going to talk about platinum, its future, its potential, and things like that. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, everybody, so my last video was the problem with platinum. If you didn't see that video, I'll post the link right up there in the corner so you can go check it out. But regardless, I got a couple of interesting responses on it, and I just want to clear some things up and clarify some things for y'all. So, in that video, I talked about how platinum could potentially be a 30-year long-term hold metal that you might have to wait 3 decades before you see any potential increase in value. Now, I don't think that's 100% guaranteed the case, okay? Anything is possible, and if there's anything I've learned over the years of stacking platinum, it's that literally anything can happen, right? We've seen platinum go up to $1,000, $1,100 an ounce, and we see it now at $800 or $900 an ounce, okay? So we see movements in the market, and sometimes they're explainable and sometimes it's like, I don't know what's going on, right? So with that being said, at the end of the day, anything is literally possible. Now, because that video was such a Debbie Downer video and I got interesting responses that told me like, you lost me on this, like, oh, this is not how it's really gonna work, blah, 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 blah. We're going to go back over to the screen cam and we're going to take a closer look at the charts, and we're going to discuss some potential good futures for platinum in the short term. Yes, the short term. The last video was talking about having to wait 30 years. I'm going to explain in this video why you might only have to wait 30 days, or who knows. So without further ado, let's go over to the screen cam and let's take a closer look at the charts. All right, y'all. So we've got the chart pulled back up. Okay, now if you remember correctly, in my last video, I went out to the all chart and I showed y'all this almost decade of not a single drop of movement almost. And then I showed you this almost decade or so of floating around $1,000. And I said, oh, you might be waiting 30 years before the money really takes off. However, I want to tell y'all something, okay? It's not that I believe that that is guaranteed the absolute way that it's going to happen, all right? It's all about when you enter into the market and when you exit out of the market, and if you're willing to hold or you want to sell and reap those profits, okay? So if you were holding in these 90s and you held through all of this, you would be sitting at 30 years of waiting to double or triple your money, essentially. Now, if you got out here in 2008, early 2008, you made out like a bandit. If you waited until it went way down, you still doubled or tripled your money, because at 840, that's almost 2.5 times, or a little over 2 times the $350 to $400 float back in the 90s. So you still doubled your money, but you didn't quite make out as well as you could have had you gone out right here. But here's something I want to hone in on, okay? Right now, we're looking at 896.53 platinum, all right, at the recording of this video. And what's interesting about that is we were at let's see if we can find as close as possible, 873.70, July 18th, 2005, okay? So we were almost the same price, July 18th, 2005. Now, move over here to the all-time high of early 2008, and you only had to wait about 2.5 years, and you more than doubled your money, okay? So this can happen, but you just have to be willing to exit the market at that time. There were probably a lot of people who said, it'll go higher, and waited a few months, and boom, it went way lower, okay? So if you buy and sell and trade platinum, on a margin scale, or your whole goal is just to buy and flip when it's up, buy low, sell high, as the old saying goes, then you can make money off platinum over time. But I'm specifically talking about buying this metal and holding it and seeing where it goes and just kind of waiting it out, right? Obviously, I have some years ahead of me. I'm not a kid by any means, but I do have some years ahead of me, so I have the time to wait, right? I can wait the whole 30 years if I need to, right? And so I'm going to hold, but your strategy might be a little different. If you're up there in years and it goes from $896 to $2,000 an ounce, you might say, I might want to switch to gold or something else, right? And if it doubles gold like it did in 2008, then it might be $4,000 an ounce. And if that's the case, you might get 2 ounces of gold for every ounce of platinum. And that could happen in a simple 2 or 3 years, like we see here in this chart. All right? And I don't doubt that that can happen. That could happen very well. That could happen tomorrow, right? Or start happening tomorrow. Obviously, this took 2 or 3 years to kind of accumulate. But that could happen much quicker than the 30 years I talked about in my last video. So that's what I wanted to share with y'all, and that's what I wanted to kind of clarify and clear up, is I think it can go really either way. We could be waiting a good while longer, or we could see this drastic uptick in price. Now, my final point I want to make is this 10 years here was a $400 float. Didn't make a single penny on platinum, whether you bought, whether you sold, whatever. But this 10 years, it slowly went up and up and up and up and up, and drastic downturn in the recession, but then back up and up and up and up and up, and then down. And then now here we are at this 10 years where it's been a $1,000 float ever since, essentially, minus this one blip of about $1,200. So that is what I think, okay? There's bear markets and there's bull markets and there's upticks and there's downturns, okay? Platinum is a little bit unpredictable, right? A lot of people think one thing, a lot of people think another thing. I think either outcome is possible, and so I continue to stack it. So that's my thoughts, that's my opinions. I just wanted to clarify that. My sole opinion is not that you have to wait 30 years to buy platinum and hold it for 30 years just to increase in value and profit and things like that, all right? So I just wanted to clear that up for y'all, and that's what we got on the charts, and that's what the charts show us. All right, y'all, so there you have it. Anything's possible with platinum. Literally, we could see it overnight go to the moon, or we could have to wait an undefined amount of time until things change, okay? That's with any market. That's with any single market. Gold, silver, platinum, crypto, stocks, bonds, interest rates, housing market, whatever, right? Anything can happen. And because of that, it's best to diversify. I've talked about this many times on my channel. It is best to diversify as much as you possibly can, because any one single market could take off. And because of that, you definitely want to be on the side of, oh, I have a little bit of money invested in that market and it took off and I'm making out like a bandit. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a comment down below. Hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Without further ado, until next time, we'll see y'all.